Hello friends, I'm Kyle from UK. In this video I would like to show my garden, and also I have been growing a lot of Indian vegetables. So this is the time for harvesting. There we go. This is my bay tree. I'm going to harvest some of the bay leaves from this tree. I love to use bay leaf in my curries and all sort of Indian cooking, and it has a peculiar smell, kind of mild flavor. Once you dry this leaf, it has very strong aroma, which I love to use my food. This is AC growing plants. We can grow in a pot or soil. If you want to grow in the soil, just bear it in mind. It's going to grow vigorously like a big tree. This variety name is called bay laurel or laurel nobiles or cooking bay. I'm collecting all the leaves now and I'm going to dry it, and I'm going to store it in a plastic container. There are few varieties of bay trees are there. Indian bay, Indonesian bay, Mediterranean bay. This winter hardy evergreen shrub can stay outside during winter time. I'm going to cut some flower. I love dahlia, and now I'm harvesting mint. This is my mint plant. I love to cook mint, and I'm going to make some chutney. And also I'm collecting seed from basil. As you can see here, the basil seeds is a tiny black color seeds. If you collect all the seeds from here, you can grow it in a pot or indoor or in a soil, which is absolutely fine. My next harvest is rosemary. I'm cutting with stem, so then I can grow it from the stem. I'm going to use root hormone powder to propagate the rosemary plant. Next one is a marigold. I love marigold. This variety name is called French marigold. There are plenty of varieties out there: French marigold, African marigold, and there's a few difference from French marigold. French marigolds is very small and vibrant colors, and African marigolds is kind of big and normally is yellow and clear finish flower. We can eat French marigold. Today I'm cutting this for my praying purpose. My next harvest is bitter gourd. This is bitter gourd plant. We can grow bitter gourd in UK. It's not easy to grow bitter gourd in UK because of the weather. During February time, I started to grow bitter gourd in indoor. Then I moved to outside. During May time, we would get plenty of sun, so that's why I moved to outside. My next harvest is cauliflower. I put a small cauliflower plant here, doing well, but it has very small flower. And then my next harvest is, as you can see here, this is small watermelon. And this one, I bought small watermelon from shop. I collect all the seeds and then I put it randomly. It has a lot of fruit but coral, and it munched my all the fruit, but still I'm happy. I have one beautiful fruit, look at here, and it's so beautiful and tiny. I'm going to cut it now. This one is a bell pepper. Please don't grow like this. You need to give good space between two plants, but I don't have any more space, so that's why I put it in the small container. But it has a lot of plants, that's why it didn't have any fruit, but it's okay. It's not a lot of fruits I do harvesting now, but I have quite few, but I'm happy with that. And next one is a bottle gourd. I'm happy to show my bottle gourd. I had quite few bottle gourd and already I have been harvest some of them. I love to grow bottle gourd because of the taste. We can grow it in a pot and a soil as well. As you can see here, I gave it a small pot, but it's do really well. It flourished very well, and it produced lot of fruit as well. I'm going to leave it two for seeds, but now I'm going to decide to cut one because one fruit is enough for seeds for next year. In terms of fertilizer, Initially, I'm using multi-purpose compost for initial propagation and initial stage of encourage the plant to grow. Then later on, I'm adding horse manure, fish meal, chicken meal, and so because of if you give intensive feed, you would get a lot of fruit. Especially in UK, we don't have a long summer, so we do have a very limited amount of sunlight, so we need to use it that sunlight, so that's why I gave intensive feed. Most of the time my intensive feed which contain high potassium, because it's a potassium can help to produce lot of fruit. Another bottle gourd, and it's a climber, it can climb anywhere else if you give proper support. But I'm going to harvest this small bottle gourd because of weather change. It won't grow bigger, so I'm going to harvest this as well. It's so cute and tiny, but it tastes like cucumber sometimes, but it's okay. I'm happy to harvest this one as well. And as you can see here, this climber can climb on my fence and is spread all over my fence. I have some tomato as well. Because of the this weather change, I'm going to harvest green tomato, but it's okay. I'm going to make it curry with this. My next harvest is pumpkin. I have two plants, and same problem. Like I said before, squirrel is much lot of fruit. I covered with a plastic cover and some cloth. I always hide fruit from squirrel, and but I'm happy to harvest. And look at here, so another one tiny little fruit here. I always love to eat pumpkin. It contains a lot of antioxidant, and it's very tasty fruit. My back home we always used to make curry and some sweets with pumpkin. It's so delicious. And as you can see here, another tomato plant, but it's ripe now. It's ready to harvest. This is a snake gourd plant. We can grow snake gourd in UK as well, and I tried, but unfortunately it died because of wind and cold weather. But now I have another plant. I'm going to put it inside, and now we're going to see about my beans, and we can grow beans in pot and soil as well. But that major problem is aphids. For controlling aphids, you could use soap water, mild soap water. Otherwise, you could use high pressure water wash. And there are a lot of natural way controlling aphids. And another good example is the ladybugs. The ladybugs are very good at controlling aphids, and I have quite few, but it's very delicious. This is sweet potato, and I'm growing in a small pot, but if you give deep bigger pot, it will produce a lot of fruits. And these leaves can be edible as well, and I don't want to do harvest now because this leaves still green, and so once it's turned the colors, then it's indication of harvest. And let's see another one. And this is my chili plants and aubergine plants. I'm going to do harvest, and I'm going to take it inside, then I'm going to do some harvest. This is my aubergine plant. We can grow aubergine in UK or cold weather, but we need to remember the aubergines are slow growing plants, and nitrogen for green leaves, and phosphorus for producing flowers, and potassium for and producing fruits. Aubergines is always need high potassium feed, and I always used to give intensive feed, like I said before, because of because of this weather. As during summertime I would like to use that heat and warm weather, so that's why I gave intensive feed for my aubergine plants. In terms of position, and aubergines love full sun, so always make sure at least it would get a maximum 5 hours of full sun. And chili as well, chili and aubergine, they both love sun and humid. And this plant can come next year as well. It's not a perennial, but still it can come on next year. But you can use this aubergine plants 2 to 3 years. If your plant has only leaves, no fruits, means you can do some pruning and prune the top stem bit and prune the excess leaves as well. I'm going to harvest my chili plants, and like I said before, chili plant as well slow growing plants. I collect this seed from my kitchen because I'm using dry chili for my cooking. And in terms of position, chili loves full sun. There are plenty of variety chilies available to grow in UK, and this green chili is very hot and spicy. I love to eat spicy food, so I love to grow spicy chili as well. And if you give high potassium feed, you would get lots of chilies. And position wise, like I said before, full sun is better. And initially I gave multi-purpose compost, then later on I top up horse manure, chicken pellet to encourage to grow vigorously. And it produces lots of chili. And this is my third harvest. I did 2 harvests before. I had very good harvest this year, and happy to harvest my chilies. And chili contains a lot of nutrients and especially high calcium as well. So I love to eat chili always. Next is Gongra spinach. It's Indian spinach, and it contains high vitamin A. It's very tasty and yummy if you cook with sesame oil. Oh my God, the flavor like heaven. The taste like so yummy. And this is my previous harvest, and even that time I had a very good amount of chili, believe me. And this is my son, he planted this plant. His friend gave him a seed and he put it over there, and it has one sweet corn, and he loved to help me as well. Now we are cutting all the ripened tomatoes, and also we have some courgette as well. And look at here how big it is, and it very tasty as well. And also we have some beans as well. And the first time when we did harvest, it has a lot of beans. It's very long and very tasty because of the summer, and it enhanced all this heat and warmth, and it produced very good amount of beans. Look at here. See, it's a long, healthy and yummy beans. This one in my second harvest. And this one rosemary, mint, basil, and watermelon, and some chili, dahlia, marigold, chili, tomato, beans, aubergine, bottle gourd, bitter gourd, capsicum, cauliflower, and baby bottle gourd, pumpkin, and some Indian spinach. And thanks for watching my video. Please do like, subscribe, and share my videos.